from Toronto's harbourfront. You were with them. And the others were Dave, Jim, Max, and Mark. And all of you were temporary yet precious ornaments in style for just one dirty summer on those bright Toronto streets. Half an hour just before that, after all night panhandling, you'd all managed to buy 10 hits of Green Frog blotter acid. You dropped 2 each and walked down Yonge Street to begin your adventure. And all of you were visiting your minds, but you were on a mission of experience, though you never thought that you would never be the same again. As you stepped from the floating taxi onto Center Island's dock, paid the driver, and faced the greenery, you were just starting to get off. It began when everything seemed to be made out of microdots. And as you watched them, they started spinning around one another in orbits. First there were 2 each in simple circles, until more and more joined in, until the patterns became more complex, like mandalas in motion that turned to objects you recognized, like plants, animals, and people, rising out of that central whirlpool of dancing voltaic shapes to the center of your vision on a conveyor belt of dreams. And all of you stumble like children onto your first playground that had waited through all of the empty ages just for the 5 of you. You and the others wandered into a labyrinth made of cedars that had been used by many thousands, but you knew it had been built for you. Inside, you and Mark shoved one another back and forth through the foam-thick air, both of you laughing hysterically, your backs cushioned by each edge, until suddenly a push sent you deep inside of your hedge and you let yourself pour into the mold of a long, delicious descent. You ended up stretched on your back between the hedge and the metal fence. And all of you stared like a boy from a summer hilltop. But this sky shivered that nervous crimson that lights the inner stage. But the softness excruciating that sky unfolded back. And behind it was one more sky, even more true than the last, and at its zenith it was crowned with a pulsating, breathing gill that opened to let your perceiver through to the next sky, the next, and the next, and the next, until you knew that all of existence was composed of worlds, in worlds, in worlds, in worlds, in worlds, in worlds, in worlds. And all your mind was clear, and your heart felt flutteringly pregnant with a caterpillar fetus that held a butterfly within. And all your mind fell through that one last sky that was calling your name. You felt so recognized as it called, Christian! 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 You heard your name like a bell that was ringing from the core of reality. But the calling became more desperate, and the voices more familiar. Then all the voices became the shouting of Dave, Jim, Max, and Mark as they searched the rapids of paranoia in panic for your body. So you got up. You left the maze and found your friends on the outside running around, shouting and calling your name. You felt Christ-like, very peaceful, on emerging to greet your friends. Mark approached you and your arms opened to receive his fond embrace. But both his hands came lunging angrily to grab your throat. You fell back with him on top of you as his fingers tightened around your neck. But this trip was so much bigger than the elements it contained. Every moment brushing and spinning. A massive sweeping machine with a yellow body and flashing strobe lights came shushing around the bend. It was monstrous, otherworldly, like nothing you had ever seen, so all of you panicked and scattered into separate directions. You ended up in a tulip garden whose painted lips had beckoned to you. On electric cords they vibrated. You stood over one of them. Colored energies riding on waves were bleeding up through the air. Petals opened, a tongue was revealed. You got down on your knees to stare inside, down a ridged stairway to a sugared cavern, and there was oozing sex in its open mouth that teetered over gravity. You placed your eye to its luminous maw like a telescope and saw the boneless chasm to orgasm of its vaginal insides. And now that you were thoroughly part of it, you had the right to leave. You walked onto a tiny bridge that crossed a swan sailing stream and stood there watching the lazy water while the bridge swayed in the breeze. But you thought, wait a minute, the bridge is moving. You grabbed the railing and hung on for your life as the bridge began whipping as if it were a flag in a storm. You were terrified that it would toss you to the water beneath, forgetting that the little river was probably only about a meter deep. You were beyond panic until it came back to you that this was just an acid trip, that you're only hallucinating since bridges can't flap in the wind. It subsided. You left the bridge and rejoined all your mates who said they just watched Toronto sink down into the lake. Except that Max claimed it had gone up like a hat on a mushroom cloud. You all went back to the harbor to wait for the first ferry, and when it came, you took the top deck. They sat a few seats away, but on the way back they started playing those goofy acid freakout games. They were sitting at a right angle and Dave started pointing at you. He nudged the others, wiggled his red eyebrows, and that's when you started laughing and it possessed you. You laughed and laughed while they poked their fun at you simply by just looking at each other and then mugging back at you. You couldn't stop. The ferry kept floating from island to island. The laughter was starting to hurt your stomach, but you couldn't make it end. You tumbled down an endless spiraling stairway of laughter. The captain came and you kept right on laughing as he kicked you all off the ship and told you that you'd been riding from island to city about 3 or 4 times back and forth and that it was about time that you got off. Just behind them, you were following, with both hands on your belly, but you couldn't hold in the laughter all the way up Yonge Street as you walked on a squirming mosaic of interconnected frogs. You were laughing up to Wellesley and across to Queen's Park, then to the lawn where all the tents were pitched in front of Hart House. You collapsed them on the grass and went to sleep for 20 hours.